That's right. Okay, we're here. See, already got one check off on me. Someone's thumbed me up on YouTube. Let me move this other. Okay, so how's everybody doing today? It looks like there's one person in here on YouTube. Can't tell if anyone is in here on TikTok, but hey, it is what it is. Make sure this is on live chat. So I've got a few things I want to talk about today. I know I missed last Sunday on my live, but let me move this just a little more so I can try to look to where it's on both cameras. Got two people in here now, I think. It's showing two people in here. Anyways, Iva Smith, thanks for joining. That's on TikTok. Still don't know who all is in my Sizzle next in here. That's good. Not sure who else, but we're gonna get started. Maybe some people will watch later. How you doing, Sizzle? How you doing, Alabama Roll Tide? Iva Smith, how you doing? Appreciate y'all joining in with me. So today we're going to talk about a few different things. First thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in here and, visiting. Rob, appreciate you coming in here. Second thing, Sizzle sent me a tool. I've used it one time. I've tried to fool with it a little bit. It is a Klein. This is made in Japan. Me and him, I was floating the idea back and forth that maybe it's made by the same people that make the vessel ball drivers. I don't know. Pretty nice little deal. Let me get it over here a little bit. So, see, comes, locks in. Nice little screwdriver. It comes with looks like a number 2. I didn't look at it real close. Maybe a JIS and a flat head. So, Star, I really can't co-host right now. Takes all I can do to keep up with what I got. Charles Williams, thanks for joining in. User 415, Cole Garrow, Cheryl, Fair, Eli, thank y'all all for joining in. Pete, it's good to have you back. How is everybody doing? But yeah, thank you, Sizzle. I'm going to get to know this a little better, see how I like it. Of course, I like the ball driver, so I don't know how this will be any different. I used this to put a Phillips head screw in the wall to hang some stuff on. So there's that. So first thing, for y'all over on TikTok, you're not going to see it, but let me share my screen with YouTube. Let's see. So have y'all seen these yet? They're heat shrink handles. I guess they're meant for your ratchets and everything. Not sure how I feel about them. Think I'm gonna buy one, maybe 2, to see how it feels in the hand. See if it makes the ratchet any better to grip. I'm gonna do a little test with it. See if how much oil affects it. We'll see how it goes. It's not a whole lot of money to waste on it. Let me look, see how many that comes with. see. There's 4 sizes. I'm guessing it's only one. So you get one for $8, roughly. Not too bad. Not too bad. I can't keep up with TikTok, but hello everybody. Thanks for joining. See, Rob says, doing well. Sorry I missed a couple of streams there. Things got pretty busy. Multi-streaming now, nice. I'm just trying to appeal to get to a broader audience. Help out a little bit. Let me see. And that. So suspect when it's super cold here in the north, any layer insulation helps the fillers. I understand that. That's a good point. That cold still in your hand doesn't always feel good. Man, I realized I ain't got my hat on. So there we go. Last best tool review from them a while back. Let's see. Okay. I need to check that out. I'll look that up, Sizzle. Let's see what else we got. I've got a few things to talk about, but what I haven't done is I haven't got my bourbon. Don't know what I'm drinking tonight. Let's do Smoke Wagon. I ain't had it in a while. This is Smoke Wagon straight bourbon whiskey. This is the standard from Nevada H&C Distilling Company. It's a solid bourbon. I've had it before. Nothing new to me, but that's okay. I enjoyed it in these mini carns. Ooh, that's a little bit bigger pour than I'm planning on. Okay, I can get back to talking. Another thing. So have y'all seen the new ratchets for Milwaukee? Let's go over here and let's look at them. So the 1/2-inch ratchet, they're not giving us, let's see, what's the specs? They're not giving us specs on them. Oh yeah, up to 80 foot-pounds of torque for a ratchet, 300 RPM. I'm looking at it. It's not going to be cheap. I did tear up my new one. Not my new one. I tore up my old 3/8 drive. So I am in the market for one. It just, right now, it's making some noise. Yeah, sorry about that, Rob. I wasn't fast on getting that stuff swapped over. I don't know how to do it on TikTok right now, but I'll figure that out. So looks cool. I don't think we got a price on it yet. I'm expecting, hold your horses, I'm expecting $300, maybe more, especially right out of the gate, because the old ones are what, 240, something like that, and that's from Home Depot. I think it's in a kit, but it could be just the tool, and that's just for the standard 1/2-inch and 3/8, the heavy duty looking ones, not the long one. Might be closer to 200. It's been a few weeks since I looked at that, but it's looking like 3/8 drive, 1/2-inch, and I'm not sure what else, but it's looking pretty cool. Can't wait for it. So what do y'all think? Are y'all willing to pay that much for a little more oomph, or are you probably going to pass that one by? I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but it is a lot of money, and I'm really not sure about it, especially for something that I don't use a ton. Pete says I can't afford those electric ratchets, but I'm working on buying a set of chrome sockets with the square outside on the drive in. Those are nice. Those are really nice. Cheers. Like I said, it's just a solid bourbon. There's nothing special. It's just a good one. Uh, let's see. So the next thing, certainly a specialty tool, nice to have when you need. I can't foresee a half, but need a 3/8 all day. I agree, Rob. And the half is one of those. It looks like it's going to be a nice to have, but the 3/8 I think will be more in line with what some of us would want. How you doing, Scott? I'm glad to see you could make it. For everybody that's joined me on TikTok, thanks. I appreciate you joining. Let's see. Next topic. Have y'all seen the new deal from Toolbox Widget? Let me. It's not super new and there's nothing super special about it, but it is their stems for their socket holders. So now they're making them to where you can cut the stem off. And I'm looking out here. You can cut the stem off to make it fit whatever you need. Tool organizers, 1/2-inch socket stems. Let's go with that. And they don't really have it yet. There's a video up. I don't want to keep looking at that. But they look pretty neat. I used to really like the Toolbox Widget stuff, and I still kind of do, but everything's not for me. I found some better stuff and some other items. I like the little Ernst trays with the lock-in rails. Those are pretty nice, and they seem a little better to me than the Toolbox Widget. Also, I love they're expensive, but I love the Vim socket organizers. I mean, I just love them. They're super expensive, but you know, they work and they're good. I mean, put them on there sideways, put them on your toolbox sideways or whatever, and it's holding whatever you need. So when you're looking to, use your space a little better and use more of it, the Vim is the way to go. But like I said, they will hurt. They'll put a hurting on your pocket. If they would come as a kit, if Vim would come as a kit and they were just a little bit less expensive, it wouldn't hurt quite so bad. But you got to you buy the rail and then you buy the socket organizers, and it kind of makes it a little tough. So it is what it is. I've bought a bunch of it, and I've got a bunch of that, and I've got a little bit of the Ernst, and I use the Ernst for my 1/2 inch mostly. It is what it is. I like them both. So have y'all? Do any of y'all use the Ernst or the Vim tool rails? And let me know what you think about them. Like I said, they're probably both my favorites. Yeah, Pete, I'm trying something new, seeing how it does, trying to do them both at the same time. Don't know that I could keep up with both. I am focusing on the YouTube. But hey, y'all can hit me up on Jethro's Garage and Fab on YouTube. Got a live going on right now. Y'all want to come over there? I can see it a little bit better. And Baldy, how you doing, man? Good to see you in here. For my main box, I prefer the 3 height Hansen organizers. They let me have the normal, semi, and deep for all my sizes. I love the easy red magnetic ones on the go. I've got Hansen. I don't have the three row. I've just got the 2 row, and I've got a set of, I think, just the quarters. I've got actually 2 of the quarters, and I like them. The only thing is if you don't have that whole set, it's very it's a little aggravating, because knowing that you've got spots missing and you want to fill them up. I don't really personally, I've never needed my sizes marked, so I'm good with that. Let's see what we got here. Really like the Vim rails, but super expensive. I agree completely. Like Toolbox organization, but goodness, they have a steep price. Half of it is 3D printed. Half of it is 3D printed or injected. Are we talking about the Hansons, or half price to buy 3D printed or injected? Ooh, sorry about that. Either eating my dinner quick, or the bourbon is giving me some indigestion. The bourbon always gives me indigestion. That's why this will be about it. See, Walter, good to have you in here, Walter. How you been doing? Yeah, the Vim rails, the magnets are strong. Yeah, they are, and they will get your fingers if you don't watch it. They're yeah, they'll get you. For my wrenches, I just 3D print some that are similar to the Techno ones, and I can also choose my sizing for larger wrenches. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good deal. So, tool organization is just a huge deal. Um, it'll make a smaller box go a whole lot farther. Um, I've got a ton of tools in my little roll around tool cart. I guess you'd call it a tool cart. It's like a 40-inch, 42-inch, no, maybe maybe 36-inch tool cart. My little snap on. Y'all have seen a video of it. I love it. It does a great job, and we're using multiple tool organizers, some Vim stuff, some tool widget stuff, and a few others. I've made I got most of my what I need on an everyday deal on that cart. Only things I don't have on it is my electronic tools, my impacts, my ratchets, stuff like that. But I have a place for those. They're hung up. Doesn't take me long to walk to them. I probably wouldn't be able to fit my battery. I could probably get me a little shelf deal to put on the side for just a couple of my impacts and stuff, and maybe some batteries. But you know, I haven't really found anything that I like the look of yet. Keep my shopping tools organized. It helps me keep motivated and jobs go faster. I agree. It helps so much to know where your stuff is. And Lord have mercy, when I can't find something, everything stops. Um, I'll go crazy looking for it. Sometimes I find it pretty quick. Sometimes I don't, which sucks, because seriously, when I say it'll stop a project, it does. It stops it cold. Um, but that is what it is. I made my power tools all on a wood frame deal. Not everything fits, but cheap and effective. I like that. I like that idea. I've done a little bit of that homemade stuff. Some of my battery holders are homemade. some stuff's modified. So yeah, you do what you got to do to make stuff work. When I finally get a chance and get this room finished that I'm, building, uh, that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna explore homemade organization compared to some of the other purchased organizers I've got. And we're going to see how things go from there. Baldy, I love the impact drawer on my box as it has inserts for impacts and drills. Power drawer is right above it. Lets me grab a tool and battery in one. Lean over. That's awesome. I would like to do one. The problem for me, and as I'm getting older and my back hurts worse and it's harder to lean down, is usually that impact drawer is on the bottom and I have to lean over too much when where I've got my impacts and my electric tools, like my impact drivers, my impacts, my ratchets, drills, stuff like that. Where I've got those stored is on a shelf, and it's so easy to grab it up there instead of leaning down. And for my most used tools and my roll around, I've got them in the top and in the first 4 drawers. So it's a 6 drawer. I've got everything in the first 4 drawers. It's in the top is sockets and ratchets. The next drawer is wrenches, which I hardly ever get to. And I've got wrenches on the side on some magnetic tool holders. The next drawer is my hammers, which I actually should swap my wrenches with my hammers. And probably, well, and then that 4th drawer is my 1/2 inch drive stuff. I've got my 3/8 and my quarter up in the top. 1/2 inch drive is in that 4th drawer, use it less. In the 5th and 6th drawer is my engine tools. So it's going to be like my ball hones and my degree wheel and just different things like that. A few micrometers specifically for measuring cam lobe movement, stuff like that. But yeah, I hardly ever get in those drawers, so stuff's down there. But yeah, so in other words, most of my stuff that I use is in the top 4 drawers in the top of the box. As y'all seen, it's a sliding drawer box or sliding top. Really, really, really so much handier than the top that raises up. You could always put stuff in your top on the lid, but it's aggravating. I've got one toolbox like that, and it's aggravating. You end up keeping it open all the time, and yeah, you can never close it. I don't like that as much. This one, just so you know, I ain't switching topics completely. That when I say it's smoke wagon, this is just your regular, everyday run of the mill smoke wagon. That is a solid bourbon. Yeah. Anyway, um, hey to everyone that's joining on TikTok. Glad to see you joining. I do a live every Sunday night at 7:30. So yeah, I appreciate y'all joining in. Let's see. Love the impact drawer. Okay. Once you get past the startup costs on 3D printing, you can make pretty much every organizer for anything in your shop for pennies on the dollar. Yeah, and they're not super expensive. You can buy some small ones, some small little 3D printers, not real expensive. So I've got one, still haven't started using it. It's in the closet right here. I have not had time. Maybe I can get to it before Christmas. I don't know. I'm thinking I bought it last year for Black Friday through Amazon, which is crazy. Um, Yeah, Baldy. It's not too bad. I have a resin printer as well. That's cool. Uh, I wouldn't mind trying the resin printer, but let me get to using this 3D printer, the plastic printer first. It's so funny when I go to work on stuff at Dad's, just how different he has his boxes organized than I do. Yeah, that's one thing with my dad. His organization wasn't. It was everything. It was everywhere. Now look, you can go in my garage right now, and I've got tools still sitting out. Okay, they're sitting out from where I changed my oil a week and a half ago. Well, yeah, roughly a week and a half ago. Friday, week before, Friday before last. Yeah, that's the way we say it. Um, so I changed my oil on my motorcycle. Real quick job, but I left my tools out. And that's what Dad would do, except he'd leave them out project after project after project, and it would get messy. And Dad's box wasn't super organized to begin with. Yeah, he had stuff sort of separated in drawers according to what it is, but they were like thrown in there. His sockets were just lined up, all bunched up in the drawer, which is great for someone. You know where it's at. It was horrible for me because after he passed and I started going through his stuff, I felt the need to organize, and it was therapeutic in a way. But um, let's see. Rob, the problem I have with my dad is he gets bored at least once a year and completely reorganizes the garage, and I'm lost over again. That's awesome. That's awesome. I can hit those moods too, but I won't do the whole thing. I go in and I try to do a deep clean because I just get tired of it, and it gets in the way of everything. Um, that's tough, Baldy. Dad's got labels on his drawers at least. I should put some on mine, I think. I need to label my drawers as well. I've got a label maker. I used it just a couple of times and that was it. Go ahead, I'm not the only one. Drives me crazy trying to find a tool. One was a 10 millimeter wrench. Found it in my pants pocket. Realizing I put it there. Oh man, yeah. You lose a lot of things in your pockets, don't you? I mean, I do lose a lot of things in my pocket. Let's see. I'm not gonna. This conversation is going well, and I don't want to steer away from it too much. So I'm gonna let a few more comments come in, but I do have one more topic to talk about. So we'll do that. But I do want to ask you a question before I move on. I'm using a different microphone. It is a DJI mini mic. I bought it actually for my Insta 360, and I decided I can use it with my uh, computer. So for those on YouTube, how does the audio sound? Does it sound pretty good? So while y'all are answering that, if you do, I'm gonna go over what's said here. Why would you label a drawer if you can't guarantee the contents will not change until you die? So my content, I mean, not my content, the contents of my drawers hardly ever change. I may swap it around if I realize, just like now, going through what was in my small one, I realized that I use my hammers more than I do the wrenches that are in that drawer. So I'm going to swap them around. I haven't labeled it, but I'm going to swap them around. But a lot of my other stuff is the same. It's been the same way for years, with very little fixing it, right? So, yeah. Um, It sounds, let's see, sounds pretty good. Honestly, your beard isn't even causing any scratchy. That's good. It's got a wind thing on it, so maybe that's preventing it from causing anything. Does it sound better than I normally do? And I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna listen to this, and I'm gonna listen to the other. I've found that for some reason, some of the other microphones sort of take a little bit of the bass out of my voice. And while it doesn't sound super tinny, the these seem to sound better than the others. And I got a bit of a high voice as it is. So to take any of my bass out isn't that good. Doesn't have much in echo either, very direct, and that is over analyzing things. Don't go changing settings. That's good. I wanted to try this. I thought it was going to be a good one, and I think it is. When I bought it though, I thought it recorded as well, like had an internal recording. But I bought like the $160 model. It comes with 2 mics and a receiver. I would have needed to spend $300 to get ones that record. I really wanted that so that I could mix audio, especially on my motorcycle. I could throw one of the microphones in my saddlebags, wear one, and mix that along with whatever else. So it would give me roughly 4+ channels of audio. But I didn't get the right one. It doesn't record on its own. It just records directly to the device, and my device only records 2-channel, left and right, or stereo. So it is what it is. So I want to switch subjects real fast. I don't want to stay on it. I'm going to get off of the subject after we've talked about it for a minute. So there was a YouTuber. I watch his stuff every now and then, and it was on and off. But sometimes I enjoyed his stuff and sometimes I didn't. Well, this YouTuber sort of went away for a little bit. He had some family troubles. He went away for a little bit, come back for a little bit, and then he went away again. Not like me, and I ain't doing any full-time videos on YouTube, but once every 2 or 3 weeks. But I am trying to do my live pretty regular. Now, there was over a year in this last gap. He's had some issues. He's a prior service, so he's a former military. And I guess he was dealing with, I don't know what he was dealing with. It seems like he might have been dealing with some substance abuse and depression. Now, as you know, the two are bad for each other because the substance abuse, some people use it to cover up the mental health issues, and they don't. It doesn't work, and it takes more and more to get to where you want to get. This is my substance abuse, and this, other than this past weekend for Labor Day, this is about it for me this week. I probably won't have any more. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying it's bad. That's me. But substances typically cover up issues. And my oldest son has substance abuse problems, and we've talked about it, and yeah, I've got a little experience with it, just not personal, right? But what I do know is none of that covers up or helps you with mental health issues. The only thing that helps you with mental health issues is combating the causes. And sometimes those causes are constant. You got to constantly work on that. For me, for depression, I've got, I deal with depression, a few other things, but depression is my biggie. And so one of the things is getting really behind on stuff, deadlines, and it's kind of a catch-22 because I actually thrive on that deadline, but leading up to getting to where I can get myself to do what I need to do, I worry myself to death about it, but I can't focus enough to do it. So that's my issue. So some of you may have watched him because he was somewhat popular there for a while. It's Justin Dow. I don't know all the details. From what I understand, so he lives in California. He was found deceased out in somewhere in the desert, I think. I'd have to go back and look at it. From my understanding, he called 911, wanted to report someone deceased, and they asked who it was, and he said, "It's me." And, you know, the rest is history. So that's rough. That's really rough. You could see, so I knew he had some family issues. I think him and his wife got divorced. You could see in some of his videos just the downhill progression, which just is horrible. And here's what I want to say to y'all. Mental health is a real thing. It's a real thing. And you don't get over it by avoiding it. You don't get over it by covering it up. It's still there, still in the background. It's still deadly, whether that's to you or to others. And I hope I'm not saying things that's going to get my dang channel. Some of these words sometimes will get your channel doxed. I think that's the right word. So if you've got problems, reach out to someone. Find a counselor, talk to a friend, go to a local church, talk to someone, go talk to someone. There are so many people out there to help you. And if there's someone in your life that is toxic to that, you try to talk to them and they act like nothing's wrong, find someone else. There's someone out there that cares. And it might not be the person that you want it to be, but there is someone out there that cares. I beg you, please. Doing that to yourself, taking your own, is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I've heard it said a million times. Can't come back from it. No matter what you think, whether you think the world is better without you or whatever the case may be, that's not the truth. There's someone out there that if you go, they're going to be devastated by it. And guess what? You might be starting a chain of events or continuing a chain of events because of the actions you took. So what we do just doesn't affect us, it affects everybody. Or it affects a lot of those people around us. And I'm going to close this part with this story about me. And I might have told it before, but this is my story. Um, Somewhere around 2010, 11, see, 10, 11. So I was deployed 10, 11. So it had to have been early 2010. Yeah, early 2010, late 2009. That's right. So I was coping. Scott's a friend. He met me back in 2009. Probably 99% of my friends, maybe all of them, or none of them. I think maybe one would have realized something was off. I ain't here no more for me to ask him. Um, I hope I'm not running anybody off. But anyway, um, I was struggling. I got placed into a new platoon as a platoon sergeant. I'd come from a platoon where I was platoon sergeant. I was military, just and we were doing awesome. And I still had issues. They wasn't horrible because my stress level wasn't triggering the roughness of it. Okay, I probably still needed help, but it wasn't horrible. Well, I got this new platoon, and man, they were struggling. They were struggling. They had lost one person in combat, and this is not long after a deployment. So I'd been deployed at the same time as this other group. I was just with a different battalion. Um, anyway, let's make this a little speeded up a little bit. So I got to this new platoon. They were having trouble. Here I am having my own troubles. I get there, and one or two people popped hot for drugs. Like second day I was there from my platoon. Um, I didn't finish some. They also lost a person to suicide when they come back. Shouldn't have said that word. It probably get bleeped out. But anyway, so I've got a platoon and they've got some discipline issues, a lot of discipline issues. They're struggling emotionally. Some of them are. And then there's other issues with it. And I'm dealing with my own problems. And it gets worse. And the platoon, I'm working on getting them better. I'm busting my butt. I'm there from 5:30 in the morning till 7, 8, 9 at night. Financially, I'm struggling. I'm riding my motorcycle every day, and it gets into the winter. And plus, I've got a Mustang, and it's having issues. And I took that at that time the transmission was messed up. Um, my wife is driving the good car because she's got a daytime job, and I didn't want to take that away from her. Uh, it's getting cold. I'm still riding my motorcycle. My battery's going bad. I'm having to take it off every day, take it up to the office. About an hour before I go home, I got to put it on charge, take it out, boom, go home. um. Anyway, I am going to work every day, and I'm contemplating running off a bridge, um, thinking this is the best way. I can look back on that now and know that. So my wife would have got 400,000 life insurance because it would have eventually probably, you know, worked its way out. Uh, it would have been found line of duty because it would probably have been mental health and all these things. We won't talk about how the military determines and what, but anyway, she would probably got $400,000 life insurance, 100,000 what they call death gratuity right then. Um, Plus, once my death was found in line of duty, she would have got the something. It's a monthly payment until she got married or, passed away herself. And my sons would have got, they would have got something, until they turned 18. Um, Looking back on that now, I know that was stupid because we need more than money. Uh, Money isn't this doesn't solve everything. Chances are, because I didn't have things straight, the money might not have lasted very long. There are vultures out there. There are vultures out there around military communities. Even I witnessed it firsthand. A young spouse, her husband passes, she gets all this money, and all of a sudden the wolves are knocking at the door. You've got his buddies hitting on her, asking to buy this, that, and the other. And it's ridiculous. I wasn't better off deceased. I wasn't. I'm not saying I'm super great. I'm not saying I provide a whole lot to the world. What I am saying is I would have possibly made things worse. Um, you know, my oldest was already dealing with substance abuse. I'm sure that would have only got worse. Um, my wife, she might have ended up with severe mental health issues. Just, you know, it's rough. It's never the way out. Uh, so that's that. That's that story. Watch yourself. Take care of your friends and family. Talk to them. Let them know you love them and you care. Yeah. Uh, Pete said, I don't know that person, but that's really sad. It was. It was sad to watch to watch the slow life. His life was just sort of getting worse and worse. It was just rough. Those were difficult times. I wasn't in service, but dad was. Lost lots of friends during and after deployments. People can't comprehend. Yeah, it's rough. You know, Glad you understand now, brother. My life would be lesser if I'd never met you. Thank you, brother. I love you, man. Uh, Me and Scott's known each other, like I said, since 2009. Um, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to move on from that topic and let's talk a little more about tools. Um, if I could figure something out, won't be staying on here too much longer. Um, my tummy is not liking what I ate. Uh, but anyway, let's see. I got a lot going on, getting ready. I've got my schoolwork. Man, it is killing me. I've still got a video ready. I mean, it is queued up. It's in the program, ready to put together. Probably doesn't need a whole lot of editing. And I haven't got to it. And I'm going to be working on schoolwork till midnight. Gives me 4 hours. See what else. Uh, uh, just so y'all know, little heads up. Anybody interested? My trip next year, my big trip is Alaska. Be thinking about that, kind of the trials and tribulations that's going to do. I think I already mentioned it, but anyway, um, got to say, replacing my exterior door threshold was a bit more difficult than I thought it would be. They're rough. I don't, Doors are not easy. So, yeah. Jealous, Alaskan fishing is on my bucket list. Yeah, yeah. Rob, those are a pain in the butt. Always wanted to go to Alaska. Awesome. Um, I hate to do this. I'm going to have to end it real fast, real fast. Thank y'all. Y'all take care. Have a great week. Have a blessed night. And like I said, y'all take care of each other. Have a good one. Um, have a great night. Bye.